Despite being its last full budget before the general elections in 2024, Narendra Modi's government is expected to shun populism in favour of fiscal discipline. But the uneven nature of India's post-pandemic recovery calls for heightened support to the most vulnerable sections of society, experts say. With a third of the world hovering on the brink of a recession after 2 pandemic years, India's economy remains a comparative bright spot in 2023. GDP targets for the year have been moderated slightly, but India is expected to remain the fastest-growing major economy in the world for a second year running. Growth is likely to be in the range of 6 to 6.5%, which is impressive by any measure. Additionally, inflation is coming off. Energy prices have cooled off. The country continues to receive strong investment flows and consumer spending is inching up. India is also expectedly benefiting from the China Plus One strategy of global manufacturing, with the likes of Apple looking to scale up capacity in the country as it diversifies supply chains away from China. But the union budget, which will be presented in Parliament on Wednesday, will need to focus on making economic expansion in Asia's third-largest economy more broad-based, say experts. At the recently concluded World Economic Forum in Davos, the one-line message from Geeta Gopinath, Deputy Managing Director at IMF, International Monetary Fund, to politicians was to use fiscal policy to provide support to the most vulnerable in society. Despite impressive headline GDP forecasts, unemployment in India remains high, at over 10% in cities, according to December 2022 data from the Centre for Monitoring the Indian Economy. And inequality has worsened. Recent findings by Oxfam, the British charity, that India's top 1% owned 40% of its wealth have been subject to a great deal of scrutiny, with many pointing to flaws in its calculation methodology. But a raft of other datasets, such as shrinking demand for affordable homes, greater demand for luxury cars vis-vis two-wheelers, or for premium consumer goods over cheaper alternatives, points to a K-shaped recovery post-pandemic, where the rich have become wealthier, while the poor are worse off. In many parts of the country's vast rural hinterland, signs of mounting distress are visible.